Well, hello, my beautiful Sagittarians. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your twin flame reading for mid-February right through to mid-March 2025. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings, and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. I'm going to cleanse your space hourly, so please be mindful. There's going to be 3 loud sounds. Let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Sagittarians, this is your twin flame reading. I'm going to get all of your cards first before I connect to an outcome. The first pile will be your pile, the second pile will be your person's pile, and the third pile will be the unified energy of how things are going to come together. And also, please look up online what it means to be in a twin flame connection, because if anyone is mentally, physically, or emotionally abusive, that is not a twin flame connection. That's more likely to be a false flame connection, and it really will waste your wonderful time and drain you of your beautiful love, okay? So let us begin. Now, twin flames, they are more of a spiritual awakening than an actual physically romantic relationship. Of course, they start off that way, and they can, of course, develop into a high-level commitment. You can be with your twin forever, of course, but there is some work to be done. There tends to be a certain dynamic in a twin flame connection, a runner, a chaser, and a separation period. Now, this is not always true to form. There can be 2 runners, for example, at first, but you keep being drawn back together because it's an otherworldly experience. You've never met a person like your twin before, and you certainly won't meet anyone like them after. You can meet soulmates, of course, and they are equally rewarding, but the twin flame, it is very unique. And both parties, when you meet each other, you know you've met your twin. It is magnetic, it is intense, almost obsessive at first, so it can, you know, of course, be a little bit kind of unhealthy, I would say at first, but that is there to trigger you because this relationship actually has a purpose. It's a catalytic relationship. And basically, it's a process that prepares us to release lower vibrational energy that keeps us stuck in fear, addictive cycles or patterns. They want all of those cards, okay. But also to release any unhealthy attachments. Twin flames, they tend to have had some sort of chaotic or traumatic experience before they meet each other. And if we find ourselves in life just, you know, moving on forward and getting on by without processing anything, of course, the twin flame is ushered in to trigger you to amplify those feelings so that you can heal them finally and reclaim your power, okay? Now, it is a very intense inner vibrational transformation, but it's a personal journey of discovery, one that, of course, must be done alone, but is triggered by the twin flame once you discover your true purpose, however, because that is the reason that twin flames, they have a separation period in order to really connect to their sense of purpose and their mission in this lifetime, because everybody's got a purpose, of course, but also it is to, you know, be able to articulate one's feelings from a healthy environment. And of course, once both parties focus on unconditional love, because, you know, you cannot love another person without loving yourself first. That's why there tends to be trust issues, codependency, insecurities, addictions. You know, these are things that tend to be present, as well as abandonment issues in a twin flame connection. And once you kind of process all those feelings and conquer those emotions in order to reclaim your power, then you can actually come back to your person and have a sustainable relationship that's healthy. Now, it's a very complex relationship. I'm not here to take anyone's side. I'm here to understand each side so that I can understand an outcome for the coming weeks and months there. But also, I want you to be aware that it is a sacred union and it's a result of shared difficulty and pain. Twin flames, they tend to have had a very similar journey, maybe not exact experiences, but remember, you are a twin and you actually hold a mirror up to your twin when you meet them. So they reflect back to you all your greatest strengths, but also your greatest weaknesses. And the twin who is the chaser, they tend to be more spiritually evolved and ready to dive in and surrender to the union. They face the fears and want to conquer them in order to connect to this deeper love. But of course, the runner, who tends to have been running away from parts of themselves for a very long time, they tend to avoid their feelings. They look in that mirror and they see all the things that they have to process. They have to open that little box and face the fears. And sometimes they feel that they're not capable of doing that in that moment. And although there's love and although there is a deep connection, they choose to protect themselves and avoid their feelings. And out of fear, they run. Okay, so it's not a game, it's an energetic exchange. I always describe twin flames like magnets, both identical in polarities. You attract each other. You are the same frequency. And of course, magnets that are identical in polarity, they push and pull. They attract each other, but also repel each other. There is a space in between. And that has to remain present until the vibrations change. And that means, of course, spiritual development and basically processing certain emotions, mainly traumatic experiences from before you even met your twin, okay? Trauma is a very complex subject, of course, and whilst it does make people stronger, it actually also damages the nervous system to a certain degree because it really affects the digestive tract, and it also forces the person into a state of hypervigilance. They're not readily available to open to love straight away. They feel cautious. They're not so trusting. It can have cost them a lot for them to survive a certain traumatic experience. So please apply it to your situation. I'm not here to judge anybody or kind of like say they did this, you did that. And, I'm here to try and understand the complexity of people's thoughts, the reason why they actually do certain things, even though there's love. When I first met my twin, I'd been severely damaged by a previous relationship, a karmic encounter that really just left me a shell of myself. I was broken. And I was scared. And when I met my twin, suddenly there was this depth of feeling that I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to get into this again. This love business, it hurts. It's painful. It nearly destroyed me. And that was with the wrong person. Imagine it with the twin. Imagine how amplified the feelings were. So initially, I was drawn to the person and I knew there was something different about this person. It was a love like no other. But I still felt really nervous and scared, and I was, of course, very immature. I did not understand the dynamic of a twin flame connection at that point. And whilst I didn't lead that person on, I got into a connection with that person, but at the same time, I couldn't open up fully. My fear prevented me from actually kind of like being completely open, and I was very cautious. And I feel it's important to recognize that both parties, even the runner at first, there's so much love, there's a depth of feeling there, and eventually my twin did what the twin dynamic does. The twin stepped away, and of course it gave us space in between to heal and connect to our true sense of purpose and calling. And then of course you gravitate back together and form a union. And twin flames, I want you to be aware, sometimes they're better off as friends. They can also be lovers. They can be companions for the whole of their life. It depends on your soul contract, but it also depends on your twin and yourself, of course, your ability to really connect to authenticity, to override fear. And, people say, why don't the twins just have a conversation and just sort of like, here, this is how I feel. And of course, to some degree, they can. But, when you feel that depth of love, especially if you have been in a previous experience where you've been brokenhearted, or you witnessed parents or guardians divorcing, for example, or you were bullied, or there's other factors of trauma involved in a person's path, because you're not just taking on the person in the person's form in front of you. You're taking on their history, their journey. You're taking on all that they are, okay? And we can have lots of fears, and we can have lots of complexities, and as soon as we have that depth of love, it can trigger a response that is a cycle of repeat, because humans, of course, the easy route at first is to choose a cycle that you're comfortable with. So if your twin is meeting you and they've experienced a depth of love like no other, and they're like, whoa, this is intense, they love it, of course, but also it triggers fears of either not being enough or perhaps something from the past kind of like raises its haunting element and really prevents a person from moving forward. It can trigger very fearful emotions to the surface. And, you know, conversations can trigger unhealed responses. And that's when they fall back into a cycle of repeat. So if they've been running their whole life from love, from intimacy, from, you know, truth, whatever it is, this person, initially, they kind of fall back into a cycle of repeat. Not always, but it is typical to form, okay? So I'm just going to work out what's going on with you and your person. And, of course, you know, their presence is actually it's a catalytic presence. And what I mean by that is it's there to promote healing and growth. At first, it feels really painful, but sometimes a healer is not a person that you actually go to for healing. Sometimes a person is triggered or is there to trigger you to actually notice where you need healing in yourself, okay? And the twin flame dynamic can often be that. Not always, but I'm just giving you an energy check as to how the dynamics of a twin flame can work. And it promotes you to erect healthier boundaries, to empower yourself, to notice red flags, and not to take any behavior that is less than you truly deserve and desire, okay? So that's like a bite-sized idea. I wanted to go into a little bit more depth than just explain the magnets, because magnets, they'll attract each other, they'll repel. But as soon as the chaser, you know, decides to withdraw from the connection. You know, if you withdraw, the magnet on the other side is going to come towards you. But also equally, you know, as soon as you put all that unconditional love, care, sometimes obsession, you know, when you put it all into yourself, you know, loving yourself a little bit more, but also into your projects, into your sense of purpose, that's when you change the dynamic. Because of course we don't need our twin. We want our twin, but the feelings are so intense, we crave, okay? And it's about conquering that. And once you do that, you see that the other magnet, your twin, starts to come towards you. They can feel the bond. It's invisible. We're all energy. It's not a game. It's an energetic exchange. They come towards you and they're given an option to step up or step out. Okay? We all have free will. And I always say, do not wait for your twin, because they have a journey to conquer themselves. And if they're taking like weeks, months, years, decades, then that is your precious time. So everything will happen in divine order. Relax. What is meant for you will never pass you by. So let's dive in and see what's going on with you. We got the Mountain. Now this is your energy, which means, you know, you're so fed up of this. It's hard, okay? The Mountain can indicate there's been so many obstacles in this connection, and, you know, it's almost like you feel this relationship is dormant. You still feel how you feel under the surface, but it just feels like it's been such a cycle of repeat that now you're in a state of reflection where you just are kind of like removing yourself, because the Mountain is to be isolated. You may actually feel very lonely in this connection. You may feel that perhaps some people don't understand the dynamic that you had with this person, because of course not everybody meets their twin in each lifetime. But this card indicates that, you know, you are someone who stands out from the crowd. Whether you believe it or not, you actually have a lot of strength and a lot of gravitas, and you are a tower of power. And that's actually something that this person is actually really attracted to. That's one thing there. So if you were wondering, you know, if you were too intense or too strong or too independent, that is not true at all. The right person will love you for all of those aspects, okay? Now, the Mountain is number 21. And of course, 21 is the World card, which means you're fed up of this cycle. So I see some of you withdrawing. I mean, I gotta be honest with you, and please don't shoot the messenger when I say this, and this may not apply to everybody, of course, but we've got the Page of Swords. So this can indicate that this person, you know, you think about this person a lot. You try not to, but you do. And sometimes if this person's on social media, you may take a peek. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, of course, to see what they're up to. You know, we're all human. We're all like trying to work this thing called life out, of course. But I feel, you know, there is an energy here that every time that you do that, if you see something, because I'm being given this energy of like misunderstanding or misconstruing photos, not knowing the history behind like a picture. So for example, if you see a picture of your twin and another person in a photo and they're like having a laugh in that photo, the first kind of like response could be that, oh, they've got someone else. Okay. So, you know, I'm just picking up an energy of misunderstanding photos and misunderstanding information, because what's presented on social media can actually trigger a response, and we feel like we know what that photo is about, but we build a picture in our own minds. So just be a little bit mindful of that, just because the mountain can also be like a reflection of what we feel it to be when actually we need more information on it. So I just want you to be aware of that if that's you. It may not be you, so I'm just putting it out there because it came out in the water there. Now, each pile is how you feel about each other. So this card can indicate that you see this person as, you know, one tough cookie to crack, as it were. It just feels like this person, they sabotage, they keep getting in their own way, and they present a conundrum to you. It's like, it's tough. You know, it's hard to climb that mountain. And as you can see, below the surface, there's a lot of emotion. But I feel like you've had to almost like have a poker face, or kind of like part of you, I really got to be honest with this. I feel part of you's gone a bit cold. You know, I feel with this Nine of Cups, it's like, I'm good. I don't need you. I'm all good. I'm content. Okay. But the Page of Swords is like, well, why am I still thinking about this person? You know, this is the lurker of the deck. Okay. And it can indicate that you're protecting yourself. You're vigilant about this person. It can also indicate that you've written a message to this person that sometimes you edit. Something about you is being really strict and not sending this message. I feel like you've sent all the messages and you didn't get a response. It feels very eerie. It's almost like I'm being placed right now in your reading. It's like I'm being placed, because it got real cold. It's like I'm being placed on top of this mountain, but round about here, okay, where it feels like there's still a long way to go, but it's feeling cold. It's feeling daunting. It's feeling like nothing's happening. It feels like maybe I shouldn't have started this journey in the first place. That's the energy I've got. And I'm just getting this like, it's this fresh but cold kind of energy around me. So what I'm feeling here is that some of you wish you'd never met your person. Okay, but also I feel you are at a place where things are stagnant, and you're kind of like in the middle ground where, you know, it's a long way down, so it's a long way back, but also it's a long way up. So it feels like right now you haven't come this far to only get this far, but at the same time, you know, where to next? Can you return to a part of yourself that, you know, doesn't really think about this person anymore? I mean, this card, it can indicate restriction. It can indicate that, you know, there's been resistance here. And I feel like you right now, because this relationship is stalled and you gave all of your heart and soul to this person, the depth of feeling here is intense. You know, you may not have even opened up to the full extent of how much you feel about this person. But they know. I want you to be aware of that. They know. And they feel it as well. And I feel it's like you're just fed up of the cycles. You're done with going round and round in circles. So, you know, it's almost like this twin flame is an immovable force, but sometimes the only way through is actually through rather than around. So it could be that, you know, I'm looking at the energy here. We've got the Star and the King of Wands. So I'm getting an outcome energy of there can be healing in this relationship, but right now you can't see it because there's no movement. You know, it's very stationary. You're at a stalemate position, but you're also in a period of reflection. Okay. I want you to be aware you're a very strong person, because anyone who encounters a twin flame connection, it can be lonely, it can be isolating, and I'm sending you a huge hug out there, because you do spend a period of time in separation, and that can make you feel really bereft, okay? So I feel it's thrown you up into your emotions at this moment in time, but I also feel like you're getting like a higher perspective on it, and I do see that you're transforming your vibrations. I mean, the mountain can be the equivalent of the tower in the LENORMAND deck. So this relationship, it turned things upside down. You were willing to take a leap of faith, but right now you're rebuilding because you feel that this relationship presented a bit of a shock to you in some way, but it shocked you out of a comfort zone. And that's what twin flame connections do at first when the separation period occurs. If you go and have a look at a lot of like, I don't know why I'm being given this, but I am, so I have to honor it. like a lot of very famous people or people in the public eye, because that can present to you sometimes an idea of certain people separating for a period of time and then being independent, loving life, maybe even connecting to a karmic or soulmate, and then coming back together with their twin. You know, there's certain royals, for example, in the world who have done that. They've separated and come back together. There's certain like performers. I mean, they are not our role models, and they are not people that we should idolize. We're all human, for example, but I'm just giving you an idea of kind of, you know, cycles where twins, they do come together and they do marry and they do get, you know, to spend life together. But it all depends on each person doing the spiritual work. And right now, with the Nine of Cups, I feel like you are trying to turn your life around. I do see, if I'm honest, that you're wishing for communication from this person. And some of you, I mean, because I'm doing this reading for February, of course, mid-February into mid-March, some of you may be wondering if you'll hear from this person for Valentine's Day, okay? I got to be honest with the energy that I've got coming through here. I do see your person, Six of Cups, they want to reunite. I feel with the dog there in the LENORMAND deck, that represents someone who knows that you are someone very different than they've ever met before. They want to be loyal to you. They want to be your partner, okay? But we're going to have to find out why there is a separation period. I mean, in the future, we have communication here. So I feel there is action. This person will communicate with you. I actually feel that for some of you, it will be in and around Valentine's Day, okay? It may not be actually on the day, okay? And I feel this person, the way that their energy is, it's like they want to be fair in their communication. They don't want to just come on in and hit on Valentine's Day. I feel like this person wants to really connect to you because they want to connect to you in their own time and not because of a commercialized day. So that's something that's coming through there, okay? But I will pull a card on it and see what's going on. But coming back to you, Nine of Cups is a wishful energy. It can be that, you know, you're trying to achieve all you wish for right now. An achievement of desire, of course, would be to communicate how you feel and how this relationship left you feeling isolated, lonely, that you've had to be really strong. You know, some of you have questions. You know, this is a card of investigation. So it can be that you're investigating why, or even investigating the dynamic of the twin flame connection, because the love that you experience with this person, because when it's good, it's awesome. But when it's, you know, not so good, of course, it leaves you feeling completely bereft. So I'm really getting an energy of you kind of like wanting to know why this person stepped back. Nine of Cups also, it can indicate that it's like I'm getting an emotional fulfillment here, okay? And it's like you just want to be happy, okay? I feel like you want to be in high-level commitment. I do feel like you want something that is solid and true, that weathers any storms, okay? Think of the nature of a mountain. No matter what storm comes its way, it's there, it's present, it's strong and faces it head on. So you want a relationship where when things get tough, the person doesn't just leave or abandon the connection. So I feel this is something that you've been wishing for, and perhaps you're trying to disconnect from your twin's energy because you want to move on. Now, some of you, not all of you, some of you may actually be talking to someone new at this time. So that's why your feelings for your twin are kind of like dormant. I want to say dormant because twin flame dynamics, you know, the emotions never truly go away. They just diminish and diminish depending on the path that you take. You can cut a cord with a twin. We only have one twin, okay? But you can cut that cord, but it requires, you know, maybe some sort of ceremony, ritual, and look into that if that's something that you want to do there. But right now, I feel like you're trying to focus on your own fulfillment and your own happiness. And there is an energy here of you not needing this person. You're super independent. I feel like you want to do new things, try new experiences. Some of you may even literally be going on like a trek or a mountaineering kind of vacation or something like that. But that Page of Swords energy, it tells me that you're thinking about new focus. And it's not something that you wanted to do, but it's something you feel forced to do because nothing's happening and you're not willing to wait anymore. As I said, don't wait for your twin, because if you wait, remember the magnets, it will remain in a state of stalemate. Okay, 2 magnets, not moving, still going to be the same. Moving, still going to be the same. But if you turn the energy around and focus on you, which is what you're doing right now, that's when your person's going to come forward, and I can already see it in your cards. Now, I feel in the future, you will have communication with this person. That is completely apparent from this reading. You haven't heard the last from your twin, okay? That's apparent in this reading right now. This person has some news they want to give you, is what I'm feeling and seeing here. So I feel the measure of this person's feelings is like they got some good news that came into their life, and the first person they actually wanted to tell was you. And that kind of made them go, oh, this tells them that you are someone who is so important in their life. They could have told anybody else, but I feel this person has some news and their first thought was to tell you. Now, I feel they may actually tell you that in a message when they speak to you eventually. I'm going to pull some cards and see what's going on there. But they're going to tell you that, you know, as soon as I heard that, I actually thought of you. I thought about reaching out, but then we left it in a certain way. And I feel I'm going to see what this person, you know, how it got left. Okay, because looking at their energy, I feel their loyalty lies with you. So I'm not really sure why there's a separation period. Sometimes the separation period is on purpose. Our guides get in the way of the connection to make sure that both parties focus on their sense of purpose. Can you please clarify the reason of this separation? My beautiful Sagittarians, can you please guide them for their highest good? What do they need to know? We've got the Queen of Cups and we've got the Three of Pentacles. Okay. So for some of you, not all of you, this can indicate that this person, number one, they weren't ready to fall in love. Okay, that's what I'm getting when they first met you, and they may have even told you that. The Queen of Cups is to be in love. Okay, and the Three of Pentacles, it can indicate that either this person was seeing someone else when they first met you, or there was some sort of outside influence. You know, Three of Pentacles doesn't always mean that this person, you know, had someone else. It can indicate that either friends kind of like influenced the connection, or a parental type figure influenced the connection. It can also indicate that they were in love before and they were hurt. They got cheated on. So I need to just pull a card on this because they're presenting in their energy right now as to how they feel about you as Six of Cups. They want to reunite. It's just you and them. They don't see anybody else. Okay, so I just want to pull one more card. Please apply it to your situation. Of course, it's not going to resonate with everyone there, but I just want to... Ooh, that was quite an angry energy that came out. We've got 10 of Pentacles, we've got 5 of Pentacles, and we've got the Ace of Wands. Okay. So I'm getting an energy here that, like, this person was either married or in a high-level commitment before, okay? And they were left. This person has learned that love leaves, okay? And it's like... this person was left wondering, was it just a physical attraction? I feel they were highly attracted to you, but I feel because of their past, 10 of Pentacles indicates they invested in something. 5 of Pentacles indicates they were disappointed. They were let down. They were left, okay? Or they felt like they were the victim of something. And, you know, Ace of Wands can indicate that either they were a victim of cheating, for example, or they were the... victim of like some sort of interference in a connection. You know, for some of you, there's a little bit of drama here. I'm just going to throw it out there. It may not resonate for everyone, but this is what I've got coming through. For some of you, beautiful Sagittarians, your twin was actually in a relationship and their person cheated on them with your twin's friend. Okay, or someone close to your twin, maybe even a family member of the twin. So that's a little bit of drama I've got coming in, and I don't really like to, you know, tap into the drama side of relationships. So I'm going to remove myself from that energy, but it's clear that this person has loved and lost. Okay. And I feel this person, they've been told by their family that they fall in love too easily and that they should like hold back a little bit. They should not, you know, get engaged or married too quickly. They should just, you know, because I feel actually this person, there's been a lot of outside interference in this person's energy. So they've really listened to people that have given them certain advice. But I feel all of this drama or whatever it was that was going down with this person, because they were grieving something. You know, Five of Pentacles is to experience a loss or sadness. For some of you, not all of you, it could be that they were struggling in their life financially and they just thought that they couldn't dedicate themselves to a relationship because it meant going on dates, it meant spending money on gifts. But of course, love is not that. But society has deemed that to date and to, you know, hang out with people, sometimes, you know, people financially step up and offer gifts and all of those things. It can be that they felt the pressure of that and they just couldn't connect to giving you what they truly felt you deserved in that moment. So they stepped away in order to protect their pride and ego, is what I'm being given. But also, for some of you, I am also getting an energy of they met you at a time where someone in their family was very unwell. Okay, and they felt they needed to dedicate their time to a family member that they deeply love, and they just thought they just don't have time to engage in a relationship. So I've got a lot of energy coming through. Ultimately, I feel it's outside influence that has kind of got in the way of this connection. Ace of Wands indicates that this person, you know, you transformed their life. Ace of Wands is to have a major transformation. And it also indicates that, you know, you inspired them. They had an urge to be with you and really like they were falling in love with you. But some sort of responsibility outside themselves made them think about duty, responsibility, or to protect themselves. So that doesn't help you, my beautiful Sagittarians, but I have to honor that. And I will pull some more cards just to see, but this is how they feel about you right now. We got the dog energy, which is all about a companion, soulmate. Now, they may not truly understand the nature of a twin flame dynamic, but this is all about loyalty. So if you're ever questioning whether they cheated on you, this particular twin flame dynamic that I'm picking up on, there was no cheating involved. They may have been closing out a previous relationship or trying to kind of like understand their feelings of grief or sadness about that and heartbreak or hardship in some way. But ultimately, when they were with you, they were only with you, is what I see there. You know, this card can also indicate that there's a lot of love still there. And, you know, this person with this energy, I feel they want to regain your trust. They want to kind of in some way rebuild by letting you know a little bit more information about what went down, because there's a Six of Cups there, which means this person wants to reunite. They want to have a conversation about the past, because the Six of Cups is nostalgia. It's about the past. It doesn't have to be about the good old days, because I feel some of those days were not good. And the Hierophant can indicate they had to be strict with themselves, or they were offered a certain set of circumstances in life and they did the right thing. They did what they believed was the right thing at the expense of their own feelings and their own heart. Now, of course, we all are adults. We make choices, and I'm not here to, give anyone an excuse or a way out. But I do see here with the Hierophant that this person, I feel there's something they want to tell you. Now, this can connect to secret knowledge, but I don't feel like they have a secret per se. I feel that more than anything, they were loyal to a family member or they were loyal to somebody, and they got caught up in something that they felt they had to resolve before they could really focus on a love relationship. So that's coming through. I'm just going to pull a quick card because the Hierophant can also indicate that this person was married before or in a high-level commitment before. And because we saw those kind of like cards of loss, Five of Pentacles, I mean, it could even be that they were with a person for a long time and that person got sick, or that person, they were grieving that person. And it just felt like it was not the right time to engage in a relationship after that experience. So please apply it to your situation, because I feel this person, they're really going to try and open up and tell you all about that. Knight of Pentacles, Five of Cups, and Three of Swords. Yes, this person, very hurt person when they met you. And again, that's not an excuse. Grief can make us make choices that sometimes feel counterintuitive to what we want. You know, we can say that we love a person and then suddenly we're getting in deep with our emotions, but fear or sadness or some emotion where we feel overwhelmed can dictate to us, especially if we are immature in our spiritual development. We can make a choice that we regret. And this is the card of regret, okay? Three of Swords indicates this person was heartbroken or went through some sort of separation or even was grieving something. This person is loved and lost, and I'm not here to make you feel sorry for this person because, of course, it had a knock-on effect and also it hurt you. Okay, so I feel you are doing the right thing by withdrawing your energy, focusing on you, because that is the twin flame dynamic. And the Knight of Pentacles indicates that this person, it's taken them a long time to come towards you with these facts. And it took a long time to try and invest in the relationship. But I feel this person is going to try and describe why and what happened there. I feel a lot of your twins may have actually, launched themselves into work or into trying to secure a very chaotic life at that period, okay? And I feel this person, it's like they regret their actions because it presented a misunderstanding or, there was no misunderstanding here because you may feel that this just went cold. That, it just dissipated. You were invested in this. This was a relationship that you thought was a dream come true. This person got you. They saw you on a different level. There was just a different feeling about this person and suddenly it just evaporated. So I feel, there was no misunderstanding from your point of view, my beautiful Sagittarians, but from theirs, it's like they realized their actions, presented like a misunderstanding. It's like if they had just told you what they were going through, maybe you could both have worked it out rather than them step back and try to work it out. This person's a very independent person and they are actually a very strong person as well. It's like they would rather sort things out by themselves. And then in that, they suddenly don't communicate that to other people. They suddenly just go off and in their head and do their own thing. And everybody else is stood there wondering like, well, what happened? Is this a thing? What's going on? And they've got chaos or grief or something going on with them and they're just trying to work it out. So I feel this relationship really could benefit with more communication, accountability, responsibility for actions. And I feel this person, they are going to try and reunite and tell you because this is, someone who imparts wisdom, who kind of enlightens you. They've taught themselves a lesson. Their actions have created a ripple effect in their life. And I feel all the cards that are coming out for this person, there's regret, there's sadness, sorrow, and, rebuilding. So the outcome energy here, I feel this person wants to be open. I mean, you've got 3 cards here, and these cards can literally mean to be open to love, to be emotionally available, to have a new start, to begin again, to communicate, to re-enter your life. But also this is actual communication, physical letter, some sort of response. So you may find that this person actually responds to a message you sent them a long time ago, is what I'm being given. This person, in the next coming weeks, they're going to be scrolling through past messages, whether these were emails, whether these were letters, whether these were texts, whatever they were. I feel this person is actually going to rediscover a message you sent a long time ago and actually respond to it like it's now, like it's then. It just feels a little bit like, what is that? What is it? What does that even mean? But it will trigger a remembrance of a conversation that you had, is what I'm being given. But this card, it highlights to be open to love, to be receptive to the emotions. And of course, it is to be understanding and compassionate. And, of course, there is true compassion, but there must be accountability. There must be a reason why. There must be a discussion. Okay. So I feel this is about being open to the communication, being receptive to what this person has to say, and vice versa, because it's a two-way street. But the rider, it literally means, visitor, arrival, messages, new information, taking action. So I feel this twin is actually going to present new information to you that really gives you something to think about. You're not going to rush back into this person's arms. I don't see that at all. But it presents an opportunity to show that actions will speak louder than words and that there can be true healing. But there's certainly illumination. The star is to reveal a truth. It is to be authentic. It is to choose a healthier path. It is also to embrace hope for the future, a renewal. So, if you were even married to this person yourself in the past, this person may say, look, I've thought many times about renewing our relationship, our friendship, our marriage, our connection, our vows, whatever it is. I feel this person, they want to reconnect. And they are going to communicate that to you there as well. The letter, of course, represents communication, some sort of connection with this person that documents how they feel, okay? And I feel like they want to express themselves. They know that they have a soul contract with you, and this is something that they have thought about a lot. So each word that they say in this big long message, I feel like initially you get like a response from an old message, which is going to be really random, and you're like, what? And then when you, sorry, I'm just being given 2 words in the water, clear communication, clear communication. So I feel that this person will then give you a more extended message with clear communication, going into a little bit more detail about what's happening, or where they're at or what happened, okay? Now, the star, of course, is healing. So can this relationship come together and heal? The answer is yes. But, of course, it's going to be a project. It's going to be hard work. King of Wands highlights there is a spiritual evolution here or a changing of vibrations, and it also indicates that there is an influence going on. Now, this person, they got an Ace of Wands when I was shuffling, so this means a start, a transformation. This person's trying to change their life or turn it around in some way, so they're going to step up and they're going to take action. So I feel, looking at your energy, you're more in your swords energy, which means, you're thinking, you're a little bit detached, you've withdrawn. But this person, they're all up in their wands energy. They are ready to take action or be a little bit more dominant in their energy. I feel this person wants to influence healing. They want to offer you some sort of explanation so it can start the path towards understanding. And then what you do with that is totally your prerogative. But I do see that you and this person, you can come together in the future if you want to, but that depends on you. Because looking at your overarching energy, the mountain can indicate that this has gone cold for you. Even though below the surface there's still feelings, you're trying to put it to bed. You feel you must remain dormant and choose another person or another path because you're just tired of the same old stuff and you don't want to waste time. You've been here before. You've been here a long time just waiting. If you think about the nature of a mountain, it's just there. And you're like, you know what? I don't want to be just there anymore. I want to be chosen by this twin. I don't want to be just there when they want to pick me up. So, yeah. I feel that's something that you will have an opportunity to discuss with this person. So, I do see this person will reach out to you and offer an opportunity to meet up. Whether you decide to do that or not, that's your call. I feel it will present an opportunity to heal or at least illuminate you. So if you do want answers, it could be a good call. But I would say they're not presenting here as being toxic or having ulterior motives. I feel this is a very hurt person who just didn't communicate themselves and chose a path that now they regret. But, we always realize what we got when it's gone, right? So is it too late? That's for you to decide. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide? So we have final cards. Forgiveness. I feel this is something this person actually will ask for, especially since we've also got, I have so much guilt for the way I treated you. Okay, now there's no excuse for bad behavior. If anyone treated you badly, that's a sign for you to close that chapter, walk out there, and teach them about your healthy boundaries. Whatever we don't change, we choose. So I feel it's very important for you to remember that when you're dealing with this person, especially if they exhibited any sort of low vibrational energy. but they do have guilt. And of course, humans, we can change, but we must want to change for ourselves and not for other people, because that's when we fall back into cycles of repeat. And I feel this person has been doing the work by the looks of things. We've also got friendship. So for some of you, friendship, of course, may be something that this person tries to offer if you're not willing to involve yourself in a high-level commitment with this person at first. But I feel this will be a little bit complex, but it's really important to have a strong foundation first. Okay? I'm really getting an energy that some third-party energy, like a friendship, was involved in this person's grieving process or this person's abandonment process. So either, as I mentioned earlier, that a previous partner cheated on your twin with a friend. So I feel like they lost friends or a friend as well as, love. So that is a very complex energy and really taps into the sense of who can they trust. But I feel this person looks at you like they can trust you. However, I feel they regret the mistakes or the choices that they made. And this person certainly regrets the past, okay? And they feel like they didn't make the best decision at the time, even though they felt it was the right decision in that moment, or they felt like they had no other option, okay? Now, this is number 23. So 23, when you reduce it, 2 plus 3, of course, is 5, which is a complex number. So friendship with this person without romantic feelings is going to be complex. Okay, I just got to throw it out there, but it's not impossible. So if you do want to build a friendship with this person, because of course that forgiveness card, that is number 25. And of course, when you reduce that, that's number 7, Chariot card energy. Forgiveness is not to let someone else off the hook. It's actually to lighten our own karmic load so we can feel lighter. Okay, so I feel this is about forgiving the past you for kind of like involving yourself in a waiting period, for example. Some of you need to just really give yourself permission to forgive yourself, because sometimes we can look back as humans and say, oh, I wish I'd never met that person, or I wish I'd never waited, or I wish I said that. But actually, if we own it and say, I forgive myself for that, because in that moment, it's something I wanted. In that moment, it's something I didn't realize. In that moment, it's something that I felt I had no choice in. So we make our choices in that moment, and sometimes we're just doing and we're not even conscious of the choices. But that's not to give anyone an excuse or a way out. That is to make someone reflect on the choices that were made and then take accountability and responsibility for those actions. And we've also got, I need to work on my shadows. This person, they need to kind of like illuminate. That's what the star is there for, because we cannot truly step into the light unless we've gone through the darkness, okay? This is a person who really wants to actually look at their shadows so they can actually choose healthier options. So I do feel this person is doing the work. I do feel they are going to ask for forgiveness. But of course, things are complex, and you get to decide how you conduct yourself in this relationship, because of course we all have free will. But I do see there is a potential for healing, and you're not going to sweep anything just under the carpet with this relationship. I feel it has to be all out there. This person's got some information to tell you, stuff they didn't tell you they were going through when they first met you, and this caused the rift in the relationship. So I'm just going to get a trinket or a button or a rune before we close. Okay, interesting. We've only got a few trinkets here. Oh, so we have the heart, but it's got a hole in it, and it says love there. So it can indicate that this person has loved and lost, or this person had a damaged heart when they first met you, and they were suspicious of love. They felt that love leaves. So it was really hard for them to really engage in that relationship. But I feel like they are smitten with you, because look, the second arrow is constant. It is true. It is still present. So I feel this person, they were mending. But also we've got the flower, which can represent fresh new start. So I do feel you haven't heard the last from this person. And I feel it's a delicate situation. Whenever you have a flower come out, it tends to mean that people feel vulnerable or delicate, and they covered feelings over with bravado, or maybe even just withdrew and avoided or ghosted in some way. And it wasn't the best way to deal with a situation, but it is the way they dealt with it. And now they can see the repercussions of it, and now they want to make it right. So that's what I feel like you're dealing with in this particular twin flame connection that I'm dealing with. I hope something resonates in this reading for you, my beautiful Sagittarians. And of course, if you'd like to enter a competition to win a free personal reading from me, all you have to do is envisage the world in a golden healing light. I really feel we're going to need it this year, and that's all I ask of you. And when you've done that, because if we do that collectively, we can all make a difference. And once you've done that, in the comments box below, just put an emoji of a heart and a world. And if you don't have access to emojis, then all you have to do is write the words world and heart, of course, and I'll enter you all into a competition, and I'll announce the winner around about the 3rd week of February. Okay, so thank you so much, my beautiful Sagittarians, and love and light.